AC's on. We're good. We're cooking with heat. All right. So last night I went to go turn on my stream. Story time for all you guys here kicking it with me. Last night I turned on my stream and I saw a channel that definitely won't be named. They were live on YouTube, and I went to go check my sub box, and they were live on YouTube doing music reviews and listening to people's music. And the thing is like, I went in the chat, and like, it was a decent amount of viewers. I'd say like teetering between like 130, 160. So like a decent little audience, not like, you know, XQC level of things, but a decent audience nonetheless. And the thing that like really stuck out to me, right, was not only the fact that they were taking money for submissions, right? They were doing like you know, X amount of dollars for a song and X amount of dollars for like 2 beats or something like that. And I was like, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna knock anybody's fucking hustle, right? Everybody does things differently, because you guys know how we get down in the Music Mondays community. And the thing that really stuck out to me and like kind of really bothered me about this whole deal was not so much the money thing, right? Because it's like, that's a whole nother conversation. You guys know how I feel about that. But when songs would play, this motherfucker was just talking to chat, like, while the song was playing. And then, like, when the song was done, there was, like, 60 seconds of talking about the song at max, and moving on to the next song. And I was like, yo, like, it, like, made me rethink what I'm doing, right? Because, like, it's like, what the fuck? And, you know, there's like other factors, right? Like, this is why you can't really like compare like yourself to anybody, because everybody's situation's different. There are a lot of positives and negatives to a lot of things, right? And exposure like that is not really exposure to me, because you're not really like putting spotlight on somebody. Like, I watched this person like steady talk over like 2 or 3 submissions, like while the submission was playing. And like, can you guys imagine if like I did that shit and I was like, damn, like, I do like 5-hour shows, stay up till like 1 a.m. I fucking do all this editing, I do all this like other shit, and I was like, if you were ever gonna charge money for that kind of thing, you at the very least have to do it in the fashion that I do it. Like, you can't sit there and fucking like take people's bread. And, you know, exposure is really like something that's, it's gauged differently, right? Everybody has their own definition and, you know, whatever. But if you're gonna be taking people's bread, like, the least you could do is actually talk about the song. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy, because I can't ever see myself getting to that point. Like, we would just change how we do things around here. Like, I remember a long time ago, I think it was Bloodcat who brought it up. And Bloodcat was like, yo, what are you gonna do when you get like 50 or like 100 submissions or this or that and the third? Because I think the most we've ever gotten is like 21 or like 22 in a night. And truth be told, there's a lot of ways you could go about that. But one thing I wanted to discuss with you guys, old community members, new artists, you know, established artists, doesn't matter. Just know that that will never be this channel. this channel will never take your money and try to give you some kind of like weird fake not give a fuck exposure. You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely care about this scene and the health of the underground and getting people to see their dreams and become successful independent artists. I don't do this for like cuz like that's not like I'm not interested in like establishing like some like fake community, right? Because like I could easily do like do like weird shit like that, right? Like everybody's like, bro, you could there's so many pages where they're just like, oh, $15 for promo, like hit us for reposts and all this other shit. And like that's just like not how I view things, right? And like that like it's not bashing, right? Like I'm not sitting here trying to like knock another platform or another person's sort of like hustle or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But what kind of like really was the bigger point to me was like it's sort of like, damn, like it made me review what I do because I was like, nah, like that's like not right. You know what I mean? And like it was almost like a refresher for me to be like, that's like the number one reason um why I do Music Mondays the way that I do Music Mondays, right? Because you're not getting the quality experience and the quality like genuine care and effort and hours that other people think they're getting. Like, you're getting it here because you can't fake that shit. You know what I mean? Like, you genuinely can't fake that shit. And it's like overwhelmingly obvious when you do fake that kind of thing. Like truly, it's very obvious. And yeah, like I agree with you, Bloodcat. Like I agree. The chat's very like it's like such a casual chat. It really is. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to measure, to be honest. If it's paid promotion stuff, it's like I want to see analytics and the actual numbers behind anything before actually fronting any money for exposure type beat. Usually, I don't promote shit like that unless they reach out to me on some "I fuck with your shit" vibes. Yeah, like that's like really like how like I've always done things, right? And like you guys know my resume. Like every company, every platform, every group that I've ever like been involved with has done things that way, as to where like we reach out to you because we want to create a platform that people want to be a part of. If fucking Joe Schmo comes along and says, hey, I got fucking 20 grand, will you give me an interview and film a video and host this and do that? But his shit is like dog water. He's like saying crazy shit. Like, that's the type of shit that you like stay away from, because like what we're building here at Music Mondays, what I'm building as Zomb Slays, is way more important than like selling out for regular shit like that. You know what I mean? Did you get my Cash App? Can you play my track first? Yeah, like there's got to be like different ways. You know what I mean? I think the way that we do it, not all publicity is good publicity, right? Right. Like I think there's a few ways that we could do it, right? Like we could verify that like, like Twitch subs go first or something like that. Like I'm always going to stick with like the core of like supporting us, right? Like as long as you're supporting us, like we have no problem doing that sort of thing. Like, and this is like I'm thinking like, say we have like hundreds of reviews, right? I'm not talking any fucking time soon. Like a one idea would be to like verify if you're a Twitch sub, or fucking verify if you're, this or that. Like I just think taking cash and like taking PayPal payments for things that like I'd be doing anyways is like very wrong. It's very wrong to me, and it feels wrong, you know what I mean? Because there's so many artists out there that are extremely talented, and like platforms grow and like you simply can't get to them all. Everybody knows that. So like there's better ways to go about it than like putting a price tag on it. You know what I mean? Like, cause like subbing to the channel or something like that supports you too. You get no ads, you get emotes, you know what I mean? Like shit like that is still giving you more than like what you know, 15-20 bucks as a fucking PayPal will get you. You know what I mean? Like, because you're still benefiting from that. You're like, okay, I'm in the stream anyway. Free ads, fucking this, that, and the third. I'm all good. Even there's the fucking Nightbot shit right there. Amazon Prime, you know what I mean? Shit. Like, there's so many ways that we'd go about it at Music Mondays to, like, stick with, like, our sort of way of doing things. You know what I mean? Very, very important that we do that, you know. And like if like it ever becomes taxing on me, then we find an easier way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like that as to where like I just kind of give up, because I'm not trying to be like everybody else. This platform isn't like everybody else, and you guys have known that since like day one. And that kind of shit is very important to me, and not something you'll ever see us doing. You know what I mean? Like, shit, even if one day that I get so busy and somebody else is doing the show, and like I come on, you know, for fucking, you know, like once a month or something like that. Like, say that happens one day, like, it's got to be a person who can fill my sort of shoes, right? And like my sort of passion. And that's just something that I really thought we needed to at least have on the table, you know what I mean? Because, like, that type of shit is, like, you know, it's all different, you know? It's all different, like, per platform, or per, like, how you want to do things. But, you know, I don't really have to ramble on too much about this, but you guys know where I came up in the underground, and the things that I've like given to this space and lost, and things that I've seen, and like how much I've been a like fan, like a genuine fan of this space before anything. Like, because like that's what's important, right? Like, that's what makes all these weird journalists and things like that like relevant, is because they're fans of the space. But I was blessed enough to have both spectrums and really create some wonderful music with a lot of wonderful people. And it's just so important to stick to what you love. And yeah, so huge shout out to the Music Mondays family, huge shout out to all the new artists, all the older artists,